afternoon to everyone. I wish to take this opportunity to thank the US Embassy for inviting me to be a part of this event to witness the signing ceremony of MOU for Lincoln's Corner. This is an important milestone for Penang, as we will now have the 7th Lincoln Corner open in Malaysia since 2004. It is also the first in Penang, and we do it two at one go, one on the island and the other on the mainland. This historic occasion solidifies Penang's vision of transforming itself to be an international city that is a location of choice for investors, a destination of choice for tourists, and a habitat of choice for those who desire sustainable living. Lincoln's Corner is probably very apt because it is named after one of the most erudite and scholarly presidents who, I think, if he had lived in this age and time, he would have won not only the Nobel Prize for Peace, but also the Nobel Prize for Literature. And some of his outstanding speeches are actually crafted in memories for many Americans. Apart from the Gettysburg Address, I think the Emancipation Proclamation has made it possible for President Barack Obama to be the first black president of the United States. And if we are to paraphrase what President Lincoln had said in his time, we cannot be half slave and half free. Similarly, in our age and time, we cannot have freedom before speech. We must also have freedom after speech. And in order to have freedom of speech, which entails, of course, freedom after speech, we cannot be half slave, half free. We must have freedom in the full sense of word. Freedom of speech, freedom of thought, freedom of information. So as Michelle has mentioned just now, when you talk about truth, it's not about who yells the loudest. It's about whether you have the right to information. It requires us, of course, to have freedom of information. And to have freedom of information, we must have the vessels of knowledge at our disposal. And Lincoln's Corner is our small vessel in this small island, so that we can transport our people to a knowledgeable and, of course, a world where they know and they understand what is happening around them. Like President Barack Obama, we want to establish a shared society. A shared society that promotes social harmony, social inclusion and cohesion, that allows us not only to manage differences, but also make diversity a positive force for equal opportunity and social justice. There are four essential elements in a shared society. One, democratic participation in decision making. Two, respect for diversity and the dignity of the individual. Three, equal opportunity. And fourthly, prohibition of discrimination. For this to become a reality, Penang must increase regional engagement, cooperation and collaboration with our international partners in promoting knowledge, cultural understanding and a civil society. I always believe that to be a civil society, we must first be a civilized one that places importance on education. Penang's economy can only flourish when it's intertwined with the rest of the world. For the past 3 decades, Penang has been home to many American companies which have shared good management practices with Penangites and contribute positively to the Penang economy. As the Lincoln Corner in Penang's public libraries, I'm certain that the bilateral ties between both countries will be immeasurably strengthened. Penang will now have a principal Lincoln Corner at Jaya, as well as an extension or satellite facility in Georgetown. Galileo once said, "You cannot teach a man everything. You can only help him discover it within himself." Now we believe that Lincoln's Corner will provide the requisite knowledge to help you discover yourself. Like the other Lincoln Corners across Malaysia, the collection of Lincoln Corners will grow incrementally to over 1,500 books, magazines and multimedia products about the United States and its interests abroad. The Lincoln Corners will feature a special selection of American books, magazines and DVDs, which will be useful to students, faculty members, journalists, government officials, NGO members, businessmen, as well as members of the general public. Lincoln's Corner will also provide Malaysians with information about the United States, its people, its culture, its values, which I mentioned we share, and it helps to strengthen people-to-people relationships as well as improving our command of English. Now, over the years, I've met many Malaysians who have studied in the United States, and many have shared the good work of MACEE, of which a few are in my employment. Now, the Lincoln's Corners in Penang will incorporate MACEE, educational advising services for Penangites, both on the island and on the mainland, who are interested in pursuing higher education in the United States. Penangites will no longer need to go to Kuala Lumpur to get such advisory services. They can now visit MACEE in Penang for further assistance. The Penang State Government wishes to thank the US Embassy for providing internet-ready computers and free access to EBSCO Host, an American electronic database which offers about 2,000 periodicals, 1,200 in full text, in electronic format that will enable more serious researchers to access tons of valuable information. And when we say tons, it's literally tons if you print it on paper. And this is, as I said, invaluable treasure of knowledge that we value. Besides that, the state-of-the-art digital video conferencing equipment that will enable Malaysians and Americans across geographical boundaries to share ideas on topics of mutual interest. With such available facilities, I'm sure that Penang Library will be the bridge to link both cultures of both nations through a host of activities and promote more understanding about the world around us. It is good to note that all products and services at Lincoln's Corner is provided free of charge. Last but not least, I wish to thank everyone from the US Embassy staff to Penang State Government officials and Professor P. Ramasamy for their unstinting efforts for making this historic occasion possible. Now, we want to grow great minds. Yes, we've been saying that small minds discuss about people, average minds discuss about events, but great minds discuss about ideas. And here, in this storehouse of knowledge, we hope that we can bring forth new ideas so that we can grow great thinkers to make our dreams possible. Let these centers of learning be our temples of high intelligence, where brute force can profane its sacred domain, but never dominate and overwhelm its realm. For to dominate, it is necessary to convince and to persuade. To persuade, you must possess two things that dictators of brute force do not possess: reason and the right of the stricken. Let Lincoln Center help us to see reason and the faith to choose and do what is right. Thank you very much.